Welcome to Many Magical Tales, short stories for kids by Christopher Durr. Thank you for joining us on another adventure.
Don't mess with Chopstick Chuck, the Kung Fu Hamster. He'll karate chop you if you don't mind your manners. Kung Fu Hamster.
Have you ever heard of a Kung Fu Hamster? More specifically, have you ever heard of a crime-fighting Kung Fu Hamster? Well, to be honest with you, me neither. I mean, how ridiculous does that sound? A Kung Fu Hamster? No, wait, I'm sorry. A crime-fighting Kung Fu Hamster. I pretty much thought that was the most ridiculous thing I had ever heard until I heard about the tale of Chopstick Chuck. You could be forgiven for mistaking Chopstick Chuck for a regular old hamster because if you came to his house during the day with his owner, Juliet, he would look like any other ordinary hamster. But there's one thing Chopstick Chuck isn't, and that's ordinary. His family didn't know it, but he's the law around there. He enforces the rules, and no wild critter is going to get in their yard and cause chaos in the middle of the night on Chopstick Chuck's watch. One time, a raccoon tried to get in the trash, and he was making all kinds of racket. Well, Chopstick Chuck put an end to that real quick. He got in his karate outfit, grabbed his chopstick that he used as a karate bow stick, and scared that raccoon so bad that it didn't come back for at least 3 nights. There's also the time that the house was invaded with mice. At least 5 of them. They took over the attic and the basement. Well, as soon as Chopstick Chuck the Kung Fu Hamster found out about this, he put a stop to it. Hamsters aren't much bigger than house mice, but house mice generally, by rule, don't know Kung Fu, or any martial arts for that matter. As soon as they saw Chuck meant business, they cleared out. The family had a pet cat that was supposed to keep the mice away, but to be honest with you, it's the laziest cat you've ever seen. I mean really lazy, the kind of cat that makes Garfield look like an Olympian athlete. Anyway, this is a tale about how Chopstick Chuck bit off more than he could chew. It was summertime, and the family had gone away for the week on vacation, so it was just the fish, the fat cat, and Chuck left at the house to keep an eye on things. Everything was going smoothly. There were no issues. Chuck had checked the perimeter of the entire house every night and noticed nothing out of the ordinary. But one night, there was something very out of the ordinary. Chuck was walking down the hall, checking in every room when he looked and saw what looked like the tail of some creature going under the dresser. Oh no, what could that be? Chuck thought to himself. It's possible that it's a Komodo dragon or the tail of a gigantic king cobra. Chuck was officially scared. Not that he would ever admit it, because Chopstick Chuck doesn't get scared. He gripped his chopstick tightly and began to investigate. After a few minutes, he realized that he better get back up before he gets too close. So he went and found the cat Chester and begged Chester to come help. He told the cat that if he helped him, he would tell the cat where all the good treats were hidden in the kitchen. Chester reluctantly agreed and told Chuck that if this interrupted with his next scheduled nap, he would be deeply annoyed. Chuck said, "Look, Chester, there's something invading the house. It's our job to protect the house while the family is away. I understand that you can't be bothered by anything except for when your next meal is, but please, I'm begging you, help me figure out what this thing is and get it out of the house."
Fine, you win. Are you glad now? You're making me use my muscles. You know I don't just use my muscles for anybody. I use my muscles in very specific and special circumstances.
The 2 animals crept back to the room where Chuck had seen the tail. When they got back there was no sign of anything. No tail, no disturbance, no nothing. I swear it was here. I saw it right over there, going under that dresser. It looked like the tail of a gigantic Komodo dragon. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's a Komodo dragon. What else could it be?
How would a Komodo dragon get inside the house? That doesn't even make sense. Aren't they like tall as a house or something?
No, you're thinking of dragons like the kind on TV and movies that the family watches. I mean, Komodo dragons like the kind on the nature documentaries. The kind that would be perfectly happy eating a cat and a hamster.
Well, if you think it's something that would eat a cat and a hamster, why on earth are we looking for the thing? Shouldn't we be hiding?
Look, it's our job to get this thing out of here, so that's what we're going to do.
Are you sure you didn't just imagine it? Maybe a trick of the eye? Maybe you think you saw something, but you actually didn't see something.
Chuck was getting frustrated now, but he didn't have an explanation except for that the creature obviously had moved on to another room. Okay, we need to inspect the rest of the house. Let's get to work. The cat and the hamster went from room to room looking for any sign of anything, but they found nothing. Not at all. Zip, zilch, nada.
Look, Chuck, I'm going back to my bed to take a nap. If you need me, you know where to find me, but don't wake me up unless you have some concrete proof. I'm not in the mood for games and you owe me a snack.
The cat went back to its bed and passed out right away. The little hamster went into full ninja mode, creeping around every corner, climbing up over the top of tables, blending in with the background, hiding in the houseplants, peeking out, peering from around the corner. Eventually he gave up and decided that maybe the cat was right. Maybe he was seeing things. Maybe he was losing his mind. He went back to his cage and decided that after eating a bit, he was going to take a nap too. It wasn't long until he woke up to the sound of scratches and low talking from the same room. What's that? He thought to himself. It's coming to eat me. Oh no, and I was just having a dream about being a hamster sandwich. My dreams are coming true. I'm in trouble. He peered over the edge of the bottom of his cage and saw a big fluffy rat. The rat looked up at him and said,
"Hey, what's up, buddy? What's happening? This is a cozy place you got here, man. You house pets sure do have it made in the shade."
Chuck said, "You better get out of here. You're not welcomed in here. Rats aren't allowed in this house, just so you know. They call me Chopstick Chuck, and I'm a black belt kung fu master." But the rat didn't seem fazed. The rat said,
"Look, bro, can I call you cuz technically we're long-lost cousins. All I want out of life is to have a nice, warm, cozy place to sleep and a few good snacks. Is that so much to ask for? I have to run around sneaking and hiding, looking out for traps, looking out for poison. And anytime anybody ever sees me, they just scream and go, 'Oh my God, it's a rat. Kill it, get rid of it, get rid of it.' Do you even know what that's like?" And then here I am, finally catching a break coming in from the cold. And what happens? My long-lost cousin, the hamster, threatens to beat me up. I tell you what, let's make a deal. If you beat me up, I'll go away and move on to another house. But if you try to beat me up and I win, then my entire family gets to move in here.
"It's not a good deal. That's a terrible deal. Not that you would have a chance. Most of my life I've studied Kung Fu. In fact, in most states, these little hands of mine would have to be registered as deadly weapons."
Well, if that's the case, then you have nothing to fear.
Chuck jumped down from the stand his cage was on, ready to go. He had a chopstick in one hand and his karate outfit on, with his little black belt tied around his waist. "You picked the wrong house, buddy!" Chuck got in his kung fu stance and the two began to battle. They were fighting, biting, and clawing. The rat was big. After he realized he couldn't beat the huge rat, he began to run and hide. Little did he know that the rat had an accomplice. While all the hustle and bustle of the scuffle was going on, his brother was in the kitchen with a bag, loading up all the goodies and snacks. As soon as his brother was almost done, Chester the cat noticed what was going on and yelled,
"You better leave my food alone. Nobody touches my food. That's my cheese and pickles."
The cat, as fat as he was, jumped up to the fridge, trying to attack the rat, but the rat ran, and the cat knocked over everything on the counter trying to get to the rat. Chuck heard the commotion from the other room, and so did the rat he was fighting. The rat ran to find his brother and get out of there. Fighting a hamster was one thing, but dealing with a big fat cat was another. The rats decided to make a break for it. They ran to the attic where they had snuck through the vent. Chuck was triumphant. He yelled, "That's right, there's plenty more where that came from, so you better never come back." Chester just looked at the hamster, rolled his eyes and went back to his bed to continue his nap. The hamster cleaned up the kitchen and returned to his cage. When the family got home from vacation, Juliet ran to her room and said, "Hey Chuck, we're back!" How did you make out? I bet it was really boring. Sorry you couldn't come camping. Little did she know that Chuck single-handedly defeated an entire rat syndicate without breaking a sweat. Maybe next time they'll think twice before tangling with a kung fu master. The end.
Don't mess with Chopstick Chuck, the Kung Fu Hamster. He'll teach you a lesson. He's a karate master. Kung Fu Hamster.
Thank you for tuning in to Chopstick Chuck, the Kung Fu Hamster. Presented by Many Magical Tales. Written and produced by Christopher Durr.
Karate master. Kung Fu Hamster. Chopstick warrior. Better mind your